information. And prior to doing that, I do want to read a big post from, it was posted to Ricky Thornton Jr. Racing on Facebook. It says, devastate. I want to thank Jeff Hoker for having this posted. That's where I saw it. Jeff Hoker Trucking, great guy, does a lot for the super late model industry, is on the side of RTJ and Bobby Pierce, so he knows how to pick them too. Maybe he's a Bob Baffert or something of the damn late model world. But regardless, here's what Ricky Thornton Jr. had to say. Devastation. We hit a rut and made contact with another car early in the race. Our guys worked as quickly as they could to replace all of the right front suspension, but we didn't make it back out in time. We rode around at the track or at the back to finish the race in 8th, one of the 7 cars to finish the race on the track. Like I said, only a few cars finished. We will be scored 3rd in Lucas Oil points. We are ultimately in the entertainment industry. This is true, but it's also our livelihood. We dedicate virtually every minute of our lives to this. A lot of people will say a lot of things tonight, but not very many truly understand what it takes or what losing out on that championship means. Fans deserve to be entertained, but race teams deserve decency too. Ooh, that's a little bit of a shot. I think there's a happy medium, and I don't necessarily think it's what happened tonight. It really is heartbreaking, but it's going to be okay too. We are heading back to the shop. We will unload and wash tomorrow, and we will prepare for this weekend at East Alabama. Still a dream of a season, still set records, still so proud of how our team carried themselves. This wasn't the end for us. Our great team owners, the Burns family, will allow us to continue to live this dream. Which this is a better story in my opinion than Kyle Larson's racing career. Just for the record, this guy threw the car on the trailer on the flatbed and went and got it done in everything he stepped in, including a non-wing sprint car victory. Still set records. Hold on, let me see. Oh, still set records. We have more races to win this year, next year, for years to come. This was Ricky's 3rd full year racing super late models. There's so many good things to come. Thank you to Anthony Burrows for being a great leader. Thank you for his longtime girlfriend, Darla Hyde, for the sacrifices she makes to be on the road with the guys. Thank you to DJ Williams and Chris Jaco for working 7 days a week, every single week without complaint. Thank you to their families and loved ones who support them and understand when they miss holidays and birthdays too. Thank you to our great fans who allow our family to be together on the road by buying merchandise. Thank you for your support and kind words this weekend. Shay Thornton posted that significant person in Ricky Thornton's life. Now, interesting thing that they said right here was that, it is an entertainment industry, but it's also our livelihoods. We dedicate virtually every minute to it. And it also talked about fans deserve to be entertained, but teams deserve decency too. This is actually my first time reading these paragraphs. I do it live. Hey, this is reality for me and for y'all. Authenticity is what you're going to get at the Chaz. This ain't some script with the little bullet points that I'm going to read like the other guys. This is legitimately real. But at the end of the day, I do think that this chase situation is badass and how it operates. I think that there could be a little bit of a mixture or a turn to how they get placed in. Like I was saying earlier today to some people, I was like, well, maybe, you see them on the final race. One guy gets a 4-point gap. Maybe there's like a little point gaps between the point leader, second, third, and fourth. You have like, if you're the points leader going into that damn thing, you should have like a 5-car gap. So if you was to finish 4th and the guy you're against finishes 2nd, you still win the championship because you perform well all through the year. That wanted to save Ricky Thornton Jr., but a guy who performs on a Ricky Thornton Jr. level is possible. Haven't we been seeing here recently how one guy can literally go out there and just dominate a year or a series or a season? I mean, this year's Ricky Thornton Jr. on the Lucas side. Let's not forget about Bobby Pierce. Jeff Hoker, once again, just knows all the badasses of the world. But Bobby Pierce is doing something special over there in the World of Outlaw series. But just for the sprint car community, the Lucas Oil Late Model Series is kind of considered the World of Outlaw top of the echelon, and the World of Outlaw Late Model Series is kind of considered as the lower roster of the two. We may get to that very soon with this high limit all-star merger deal we may get to this situation where we're talking like this. I do think that, it's a little closer than what people think out there. But as far as this Chase situation is concerned, we know that guys can go out there and run a full damn year and kick some ass. I mean, Ricky Thornton Jr. this year, Jonathan Davenport last year, year before. I mean, what Brandon Overton. We've seen the years that Scott Bloomquist has had. If you're going to say it's more competitive than ever, and you can't really do all that, I mean, Ricky Thornton Jr. did break Scott Bloomquist's win record. So you can have that situation. So it is possibly smart to be able to implement a situation where, when you go to this Eldora deal or whatever, if this event moves to another track like it has, I think it's great at Eldora. Eldora is an amazing stage. Maybe this time of year, it's not necessarily the best stage. Just because of climate that time of year and how it is. But they did say that the weather is beautiful the other, before the race and after the race, the weekend before and the weekend after. So I don't know if it's going to move, whatever. I'm just saying it might be smart to let that points leader have a 4-car. Let's not even call it points. Let's just say cars. You got a 4-car cushion. And then second place, you got a 4-car cushion on third. Fourth place has a 4-car cushion on fourth. So fourth could still win the damn championship. It's just going to be really hard. You're just going to have to win the damn race or finish second and have everyone else suck. But that's the price you have to pay because these other guys kicked your ass all year long, and we're going to award them for being consistent. We don't need to become TikTok. We don't need to become the low attention span society where things just get flipped and flopped around. We're not going to support that way of living. We're not going to support the low attention spans. We're going to still provide entertainment that leads to some type of duration because we want fans who are a fan of our sport to watch us for duration of the time. Because if you destroy the importance of the rest of the year, why, as a new fan or someone you're trying to attract with this marketing scheme, why would they even tune in for the rest of the year if that last race is all that's going to matter and everything that happens prior to that doesn't matter at all, really? Come on. I mean, you kind of have 4 top badass guys in each series. Luke Soul, you could say 6 or 7. But you kind of have 4 top badass team driver combos every year. You know who they are by the time you get to June in the late model division. So we're already going to know who those 4 are locked in and who's badass by, May or June next year. But we need to make it to where I think racing within that is a little bit more feasible. Now, I understand the argument or the copycatting ways of minds and thinking that have implemented over here into the Lucas Oil ways of life. The Chase thing that y'all created is from NASCAR. This lucky dog thing is from NASCAR. So you're trying to learn from a failing organization. You're not learning from the NFL or UFC and tournament style knockouts and all this other stuff. And you got to, all these things. You're not going to do like, the last 8 weeks, we're going to lock in the top 10 in points. And each 2 weeks, the lowest finishers knocked out. And we have a knockout every single week. You're not going to learn from successful organizations. No, you're going to learn from NASCAR, who almost literally fell off the block here in the last couple of years. They had to develop a whole new car to even save their industry. They needed a guy to say the N-word and go back to dirt racing to even bring the dirt racing fans back. Y'all needed that. You needed Bubba Wallace on an election year kneeling and Kyle Larson saying that. You needed this. You needed everything else but the racing on the track to survive. But we in the dirt world, for some reason, say what they're doing is very smart. Let's learn from the failing organizations known as NASCAR. We're not going to listen to these other organizations or look and see how we could implement real entertaining formats to our racing. We're not going to be innovators. We're going to be followers. You say in NASCAR and Chase on the final race, they don't matter. They reset all the damn points and we go into Phoenix and the top finisher of those 4 cars, there ain't no damn points cushions. There ain't nothing like that. The top 4, y'all go at it. Here we go. This is the race. This is what's going to happen. Now, I understand that this race weekend was supposed to be more than one night. It was supposed to be 2. But you can't control Mother Nature once again. And if you ain't going to race into Monday or into Tuesday or guarantee that you get 2 nights of racing in, you're really screwing it up to try to add some equality to multiple nights and institute some type of consistency, making it a more than one night event. So It's a really interesting way to look at it like that, like the failing organization known as NASCAR, and try to implement the one race, everything's on the line. Let's see who's got it. It don't matter that we could race road courses, super speedways, 1.5 miles, 2.0s, dirts and Bristols and all that. We're just going to leave it up to one guy or one team who knows how to drive this one track really well, and that's your champion, and that sells because that's what made them so great and grand over the last 20 years. But regardless, I do think the excitement of this event was really well. I'm not going to take credit all the way away, even though the credit should go to NASCAR more so than anybody who formulated this chase and Lucas. Anyone who's trying to say we did this for the excitement factor, okay, that's like saying we did this. We created this play where you hike the ball and we fake it to the running back, but then we keep the ball and we throw it to the receiver, and it's exciting, and we did it when really that's just a play action pass. You didn't do shit. You just copied someone. I mean, yeah, you may have spun it. Maybe you let off with your left foot or right foot, or you did the cutoffs throughout the entire season, but don't take any credit for doing it. Everyone knows where the credit is deserved. Just go down to Concord or Charlotte or whatever and give them an award for creating this idea. It wasn't nobody in the industry that maybe implemented it, but okay, you implemented somebody else's playbook. Okay, where's the credit? That's the guy who deserves the credit. Don Shula, the shit, I mean, regardless, I am still going to give credit to NASCAR, I guess, once again, that this was a really badass eventful race. I mean, even though I felt like the announcers really over-exaggerated what Tyler Carpenter was doing, even though he was coming through the field, we all knew that he was just burning his stuff up within the first 30 laps, whether that's tires or equipment, junking it on the top side of the track. We knew by lap 40 or 50 that wasn't going to work. Anyone who watches late model racing at all, really, on a halfway semi-consistent basis. I mean, I semi-consistently watch it and have been in the pits and understand it, and I knew what was going to happen there. I don't hate Tyler Carpenter. I thought that they were trying to make that such a big deal when that was happening because of what just happened with RTJ. I thought they were trying to smear that. Oh, don't worry about that no more. Let's watch Tyler Carpenter do this. They were just trying to distract from the fallacy that just occurred. But I do think that one event was really badass. I do think it was. I think it was cool. I think it needs some shifting. I think it needs some alterations. Even the knockout deal, if they come out with that, please just Don Shula me as well. I think we should Don Shula NASCAR and give them all the credit for whatever excitement y'all felt and whatever reason you thought Sunday was so cool and so amazing. We need to give all the credit to NASCAR because they are the originators of this idea.
This is how we ride. This is how we do. Ride mud, slide.